When selling your house, it is vital to stay one step ahead of the competition.
So I'm giving 3 homeowners the chance to do just that by snooping around each other's houses.
It's all fur coat and no knickers.
There's a reptile thing on the wall there. Tell me it's not alive.
An iguana.
Today, one house just needs a bit of oomph.
You could branch out and be a bit bolder in this room.
See, even you're saying being bold.
While another needs everything doing.
If you want this house sold, you've got to tackle some of these issues.
You're actually so right.
They'll get £1,000 and a week to sort out the problems.
What's wrong?
I'll let you guess.
It's too small.
I've never put a mural up in my life before, and if I'd known what was involved, I may not have bothered this time.
But can they do enough to get an offer from my buyer?
I can see myself getting a hammer out and knocking lots of walls down.
Today I'm in Worthing, West Sussex, helping 3 homeowners cash in on recent house price increases, 14% in the last year alone. They're all hoping my buyer Diane will make them an offer they can't refuse. Diane's been living in France for 6 years and with the help of brother Carl is now looking to make the move back home.
I'm right in thinking that time is of the essence because you've sold your house in France now, haven't you?
That's right, we've exchanged contracts and in 2 months' time we're going to be moving back to the UK and we haven't got anywhere to live.
So if you find somewhere today, you've got to be in.
That would be great.
Well, we can do that. Now, Carl, obviously being based in England, you've been doing a lot of the legwork.
That's right.
Have you been sending pictures out to your sister? And...
She's been sending me links saying, can you look at this, can you look at that, can you look at that? And then I've been trying to get appointments to come down and view them and then say yes, no, maybe.
Right.
So that when Diane does come back, her time is more effective.
OK. What are the ones that are making you say yes?
Ideally something with a beautiful setting and a beautiful garden, because I've got chickens.
So somewhere for the chickens. And views are important, aren't they?
And just have something a bit quirky, a bit interesting, a bit different.
Any absolute no-nos? Anything that you hate?
Swimming pools.
OK.
We've got a swimming pool now and it's just a muddy pit.
I think there is no time like the present. If you're going to be homeless in 8 weeks, we need to crack on, don't we?
Diane's budget for that home with a view and space for the chickens is top whack £550,000.
I've got 3 properties lined up to show her and I'm hoping that one of them will get her rushing back to Blighty.
First up is NHS Administrator Joe and daughter Ruby, who were the first to admit that since moving in 14 years ago, they have let the standard of their house slip.
I think we've fallen out of love with this house. When we first moved in, it was great, it was big, full of children, and then as all the children got older, well, we went and lived in Spain for a little while, and when we came back, we were just left with a big, tired, empty house.
Well, if you don't love it, Joe, how can you expect a buyer to?
It has no style. That's part of the problem.
It's boring and plain, and it's not very nice to look at.
Tell it to her straight, Ruby. Joe's unloved home has 5 bedrooms and a garden big enough for buyer Diane's chickens. And at just under £450,000, there's plenty of money left for Diane to make it her own. Up against them are Debbie, who runs her own business providing specialist care for young adults, and partner Paul, who is an independent social worker. They've both tried to keep a period feel to their Edwardian home.
Well, I guess I would describe our style as being vintage.
It is period. We've tried to keep everything as much as possible true to the house and wouldn't do anything too drastic.
Nope, there's definitely nothing drastic here.
I think we have played it safe. I haven't gone with any bold colours anywhere. I think a splash of colour is about as bold as we get, isn't it? Like in here, we've got a touch of green, but it's not very bold.
I don't think green candles count, Debbie. This period property has 5 bedrooms and bags of quirky character, which should appeal to buyer Diane. It's also the cheapest of my 3 houses at £445,000. Last up are carer Sue and her daughter Jo. Sue's proud of her villa-style home with its swimming pool and fantastic views.
The style of my house is retro. I like retro. Quite modern in some rooms.
I'm not really seeing modern or retro here. In fact, I can't see past the porcelain pets.
I always have loved ornaments. And I like white because I can accessorise with colour.
Our styles are very different.
Completely different.
Couldn't get no more different than what
No.
we've got. I'm just hoping Amanda's on my wavelength rather than me mother's.
You've got no worries there, Joe. Sue's villa-style home has 4 bedrooms and the beautiful setting buyer Diane wants. And though she might hate the swimming pool, at 450 grand, there's plenty left over to fill it in if she really wants to. So it's Joe and Ruby in their unloved house, Debbie and Paul's safe period home, and Sue and Joe in their villa-style home with the ornaments, all competing for an offer from my buyers Diane and Carl.
Now the sellers get the chance to take a sneaky peek at each other's houses to pick up some tips and ideas to bring back to their own properties, which will help them keep one step ahead of the competition.
The first house they'll be looking around is Debbie and Paul's.
Paul and Debbie have a lovely house with some beautiful period features, and while some of the rooms have embraced the Edwardian era, others do seem to be slightly forgotten. Still, the other sellers should appreciate how well presented this house is and its homely feel.
Curb appeal, do some weeding.
Wow.
I like it.
I don't think it stands out from any other house in the street.
Mixed impressions for the outside, but inside the period features immediately grab their attention.
Love the fireplace.
It's got character, and that's what our house lacks.
Indeed, but next door the dining room's not quite so wow.
It's just boring. This has no character. I think it's just really plain.
It's so bland. It's like eating a dinner and no salt and pepper. It's really bland. It's got no oomph.
I like the garden, it's the right size. They've done a good job with this. It's cosy. Yes, it's a beautiful garden.
Downstairs, as well as the main living areas, there's also a bedroom, come study, come music room, come... Well, I'm not really sure.
I don't know what this room's meant to be.
I think it's a...
Office? Bedroom? It's got no purpose.
Upstairs, the bedrooms are impressing, even Ruby.
I love it. It's my favourite room we've seen. I like everything about it.
This is gorgeous. I love the colour. It just looks really cosy.
I don't. I think it's got loads, too many bits in it.
And that from the Ornament Queen.
This bathroom, compared to my upstairs bathroom, it's white.
Yeah, your bathroom upstairs is very dated because it is so blue.
Yeah.
This house is on the market at just under £445,000.
Right. The high side of what I would have expected.
Wow, that's not bad. The house itself is a lovely family home. I would say it's bang
Quite
on.
good.
Despite the difference of opinion on price, some valuable lessons have been learnt. Joe and Ruby have seen how a little love can go a long way, and Sue's taken note on what a modern bathroom should look like. And it's her place the sellers are heading next.
This is a wonderfully eclectic home with amazing views to the front, but Sue has played it very safe with the walls and only added colour through accessories and the carpet. And to be honest, it gives the house a rather mismatched, cold feeling.
It's in a peaceful street, and it's unusual with all the little dormer windows. And sea views, you can see the sea.
Oh, it's very different to our house, isn't it?
Uphill as well.
It is uphill.
Which one fit?
Most houses seem to have character that ours is sadly lacking.
Ah, the penny drops, but you can take character too far.
There's a reptile thing on the wall there. Tell me it's not alive. I like the carpets.
I hate the carpet.
Right.
It's a lovely size room, but it does lack a bit of warmth.
I think you need to brighten up the walls.
It's okay. It's not bowling me over. I'm not crazy about the pine. But as bedrooms go, it's neat, it's clean, it's pretty.
Outside in the garden, it's all about that pool.
Oh, swimming
Little
pool.
pool.
Not everybody's cup of tea, your swimming pool, but very nice.
A swimming pool. How lovely.
I'm in love with the garden. Everything about it is fabulous.
This is absolutely beautiful, don't you think?
Let's take it.
Back in the house, the bathroom isn't leaving them quite so flushed.
You don't see coloured bathroom suites often anymore, do you? They're considered old-fashioned.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd keep the dark bathroom suite. I think I'd like to go more for a white bathroom suite.
And me. To get the pool and that bathroom suite, this place is on for £450,000.
Worth it.
It is worth it.
It's definitely worth
It's a
it.
very good price for a very nice house.
What you're getting for the house for $450 is probably a bit expensive.
So mixed views on the price, but at least Joe's got the message that love and character will help sell their house. And it's theirs that the sellers will be visiting last.
This is a wonderful, spacious home with great curb appeal, but Joe and Ruby are the first to admit that they've fallen out of love with their home, and it shows. And if they don't love it, what is going to make a buyer fall in love with it?
It's a nice big garden, isn't it?
I like that.
This is gorgeous. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what it's like inside.
So first impressions are good, but that soon changes.
It's not how I expected it to be. It looks really dated.
Now this is nice. I like that. The fact they've got a bit of a feature in the wallpaper there. That does look nice, doesn't it?
I like it's quite minimalist here. It's not busy with furniture and
Well,
things,
unlike
is it?
our dining room, we've got quite a bit of furniture in our dining room, haven't we?
There are 5 bedrooms here, including daughter Ruby's.
Carpet could do with a bit of attention.
I'm sure that wallpaper is what I used to have as a child.
It'd be nice to see it having a bit of TLC.
Why would you have a sofa in a bedroom? It just needs to be revamped.
I am lost for words on this house. Everything is just mishmash, old, dirty, the carpets are filthy. It's all fur coat and no knickers. Simple as that.
That's one way of describing it. Upstairs in the attic,
It looks like a squatter's apartment. If they actually grafted on this house, it would be amazing.
I'd imagine that's a spare room come games room.
I guess people might think, go into ours downstairs and think, right, what is this room? It's an office come bedroom come music room.
bingo, she's starting to think like a buyer. This unloved house is on the market at just under £450,000.
It's a nice house. It's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I don't think it would take a lot of work to push the value up, to be fair.
I'd say that's a good price if you was willing to spend 20 to 30,000 on the inside.
I'd agree.
So everyone's in agreement that this house needs work. Lucky I'm here. I'm in Worthing, West Sussex, where my buyer Diane, with the help of her brother Carl, is eager to make her move back over from France.
Timing is very important for us at the moment because we've exchanged contracts on our house, and in France you exchange at the beginning of the process. So in 2 months' time, we're going to be back in the UK, needing somewhere to live.
No pressure then, Diane. Luckily, I've lined up 3 great houses for them to view. All 3 homeowners have now had the chance to look around each other's homes and hopefully learnt some valuable lessons.
Our house is lacking in nearly everything, like colour and character.
There are some rooms that I think look at home, and I'm sure we're both quite happy with. We hopefully have made them look nice, but there's still rooms that have been neglected.
From the first house, where it is so comfortable and so welcoming, maybe you should take that on board a bit, because your house can be very harsh on first impressions.
Now, that was delicately put, Joe, and you couldn't be more right. I just need to convince Mum Sue to also admit to her house failings.
So, ladies, fresh from the Snoops, and I know that you learnt a fair bit, didn't you, Joe, when you came back to the house?
I think Mum could learn a lot if she actually brought some of their ideas into her house, where it's quite harsh in her living room.
Mum?
I disagree.
Brilliant. I think one of the reasons why it's not selling is that some of the key areas need depersonalising a wee bit and warming up. It does feel a wee bit stark and a wee bit cold in some areas. Talk to me about the love of animals. It's like being in a zoo in this room.
I just think it gives life into the room.
1 or 2, yes. But giant kind of 3-foot iguanas might be a little bit over the top. I'm going to give you some suggestions for how I think this room can be warmed up. For me, this carpet is too blue, too cold and too office-like. Okay. Get it up and think about putting some lovely, soft, engineered wood down.
I hadn't thought about that at all.
I would like to see the walls warmed up a bit. You obviously like purples and plums.
Yes.
So I'm going to stick with that, like a nice soft chalky plum colour all around the bottom. Okay. And then above, wallpaper.
How about wallpapering, doing the walls but leaving the carpet?
I'd rather see this carpet gone. It's too
carpet.
cold.
I absolutely love them. I want to start now.
Mum?
Just this room.
I'm a little bit scared. You're taking me slowly out of my comfort zone.
You want to get this house sold, don't you?
I want to get the house sold.
You need to embrace it. Yeah. Embrace it.
Embrace
your fear.
And she's going to have to embrace a little more, as I'm not done yet.
My suggestion would be to change the suite to a plain white one. Get rid of the bidet altogether. White would freshen it up a lot. One way in which you can dramatically transform this room for pretty much next to nothing is to use panels. So it comes like this, and they're about £10 a panel, but they've got adhesive on the back to keep within the seaside nautical theme. This colour at the bottom, keep it white on the top, and then you literally just stick it onto the wall. I mean, obviously, you'd need to get it cut to size because you end up with a little bit of a gap there. But then you would get a piece of this and that would just be put on top and then painted the same colour.
Wow.
What do you think?
I'm really impressed.
You just need to take a deep breath and go for it.
Go for it.
Commit to it.
Yeah.
This house has so much going for it. Amazing views. You can see the sea. Some of the main areas, however, feel a little bit dated, but I think the biggest battle isn't going to be the amount of work that needs to be done. It's going to be Jo persuading her mum to do it.
I think Amanda's come up with some really good suggestions just to take the edge off of Mum's house a bit, to make it a bit more welcoming, homely, and I think you really have to run with them.
And so far it seems she is, as Jo gets Sue to box up her beloved ornaments.
Oh, it's like saying goodbye to old friends. Come on, Fred.
But it seems Fred's a favourite.
I'm just thinking about whether or not I should put Fred in somewhere else.
Stick her in the garden. Free him.
No.
Nice try, Sue. Luckily, Jo is on hand to be the voice of reason.
I am so happy to see the back of all these ornaments. It's like walking into a little rainforest when you sit there and look at them all.
Rainforest, more like Noah's Ark.
An improvement already. All good.
I've got nothing to say.
Sue might be bereft, but I'm with Jo on this one. Next, I'm at Paul and Debbie's period home, and I'm hoping they're still thinking about how to use their spare room after the Snoop.
You mentioned, Paul, when you looked at some of the other houses about rooms having a sense of purpose.
The word that came to mind was ownership, as in it's one person's room and they decide what happens there and how it looks and how things are organised. And then I thought, yeah, we've got a room a bit like this at home.
It's not one thing or another. It is serving three purposes. It's a guest bedroom, it's a music room, and it's an office. There ain't space enough for all three of them. We need to lose one of them.
I think because we have a couple of relatives that do come and stay who wouldn't be able to walk upstairs, that it would be better to keep it downstairs.
That's fine. Well, that's answered that question then. Keep the day bed in here and then have this as your designated music section.
I think it'd be nice to have a clear purpose.
I've seen some wonderful wallpaper that has instruments on it.
Okay.
And it would look brilliant in here. Get rid of this.
Yes.
And get rid of all of this.
Yes.
Next, I want to talk to Debbie and Paul about another room that isn't quite fulfilling its potential.
You like to play it quite safe with your interior decor, don't you?
Yes, I do, yes.
Do you think you could branch out and be a bit bolder in this room?
See, even you saying being bold, okay, I can do this.
Paul, how do you think this room compares to the rest of the house?
It's a very functional room, so we eat in here and we gather in here, but actually you don't tend to live in here.
No. You've got these beautiful features, but at the moment they tend to be a bit lost because there's so much else going on here. I think you need to sort of pare it back a bit, bring out the original features and really make this a stunning dining room. Get rid of that embossed wallpaper and go for a pattern.
I guess I hadn't thought about papering all of the walls.
People don't. I think people are so frightened to use bold wallpaper all over the place that they think it will make a room feel small, but actually it doesn't. It has the opposite effect. Let me talk to you about the ceiling. Two things that you could do with this. One is to colour the beading work and paint that because it would really make the white pop out. The other thing to do is put a panel of wallpaper or a colour in that middle part.
Oh, yeah.
But just give it a bit of oomph, this room.
Okay, great.
This is such a beautiful house, but I do feel that a couple of the rooms are letting it down. They lack a sense of purpose, and to be honest, they're a wee bit on the safe side. I want Debbie to get brave, be bold and transform them, and they will then look as stunning as the rest of the property.
I think Amanda's suggestions are really interesting. Although I'm still getting to grips with the idea of having each wall papered with quite a bold colour. That's going to be very different for me.
Different maybe, better definitely. And to help her get over her fears, Debbie's rallied some troops to strip the walls in the dining room. And she knows how to keep her workforce happy.
The only way to decorate.
Lots of champagne. That's my kind of party.
How many decorators do you know work on champagne, eh?
There's a reason for that, Debbie.
It's fantastic. I've been wanting to take it off for ages, so it's finally coming off the walls. That's amazing. Well, we need to open another bottle of champagne. Have a look in the fridge.
Debbie's quite good at getting plastered, though. I mean, at plastering.
I think it's best we just stick to stripping the wallpaper. Finally, I'm going to see Joe and Ruby, who, after seeing the other houses, have managed to fall even further out of love with their own home.
Out of the three, this is probably best value for money, space-wise, but it's got no character. We've definitely fallen out of love and just want to move on.
Ruby, I know one of the houses that you went into, you really took a shine to one of the big bedrooms, didn't you?
Yeah, I just liked all the decoration. I liked there was some floral wallpaper and the colour because it was pink.
What do you think about your bedroom?
It's really boring and plain.
At the moment, when people are going online and they're looking at your house and they're clicking on a picture of this, it wouldn't make me want to go, oh, I really want to go and look at that house. So you want to go down that kind of pink theme. I think it could look great, like a sort of boutique hotel with soft rose colours. I would wallpaper that wall and that wall. Go for it. Make a big, bold statement. And then the rest of the room paint in a very soft pink. And get rid of this thing. And put a different carpet down.
Oh, yes.
Ruby, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I think it could transform this room. It could look absolutely beautiful.
Next, the attic.
What is this space?
It's a guest bedroom, and because it's quite close to my son's bedroom, he's taken it on as his sort of den.
Den, OK. The other sellers called it a squat.
Oh.
How does that make you feel?
Hurt, embarrassed. But they have a point, a very valid point, because it is a strange space, isn't it?
What I'm going to suggest now is a radical change.
I'm listening.
Knock it out. Knock both of these rooms out and create one big space. Make the two rooms a uniformed space, so it needs to flow. Have them defined, so this is the chill-out zone and that's the bedroom, but keep the decor and the colour palette the same throughout, so it doesn't jar.
Trouble with me is I lack vision.
But it needs to happen. If you want this house sold, you've got to tackle some of these issues.
You're actually so right.
Jo has readily admitted that she has fallen out of love with this house, and you know what? It really does show. From the outside, it looks fantastic, but then when you get inside, it doesn't really live up to expectations. She needs to find some enthusiasm from somewhere, and she needs to tackle the upstairs of her house. Otherwise, she's going to be here for a very long time.
There is a huge amount to do up there, I'm afraid, and yeah, we've got to step up and do it. It's the only way, isn't it?
And no time like the present as Jo gets a builder to quote for knocking through and redecorating the attic.
Definitely needs opening up, doesn't it? You know, makes sense totally to take this out, take this wall out.
This sounds wonderful. I think this is what's needed. So what sort of figure are we actually looking at? It's all right, I'm holding on to something. So if I faint...
Probably maybe about 880, 950, something like that.
That sounds good to me. When can we start?
Well, put the kettle on and, put the kettle on in 5 minutes' time.
Well, that was easy. Here in in Worthing, West Sussex, I've visited my 3 sellers and given them all makeover suggestions. They've now got 7 days and £1,000 to spend before I bring buyer Diane round.
Well, what we would like ideally is to bring back a bit of our French lifestyle with us to the UK. We've got beautiful views, big garden at the moment, and the setting is going to be really important for us.
All 3 sellers are busy trying to add that je ne sais quoi to their houses for buyer Diane. At Paul and Debbie's period property, they're making some noise in the music room with some themed wallpaper.
I've never seen him hang wallpaper. He assures me he can, but up till now, I've always hung the wallpaper in the house, so...
Oh, but I've been watching you.
Watching and learning from the master.
I've been watching and seeing how not to do it.
Should we let the wallpaper do the talking?
Have you ever seen anything so well hung? I think I'm happy with that. Not bad for a first piece. Last piece will be fantastic. I'll be up and running.
No rush, Paul. Next door, Debbie is still struggling to come to terms with my suggestion to go bold.
I've never done a whole room in patterned wallpaper before. I have to say, when it was suggested, I wasn't sure, so it's going to be very different.
But once the first sheet is up, Debbie is singing a very different tune.
That's really pretty, actually, isn't it? That looks lovely. We're definitely going to be the best candidates at the end of all of this.
I'd get a couple more sheets up before you start popping that champagne, Debbie. At Joe and Ruby's unloved home, builders have already started knocking through the attic upstairs.
Now that the plasterboard's off, next step, use a screwdriver and take it all out.
Although you don't need to seek any planning consent to remove a non-load-bearing internal wall, always have it checked to make sure it's not being used as a partial support for any structural elements. Once Joe returns from work, it's time to assess the job.
You have been busy. I think I might kick my son out of this room. And I'm going to have it.
Down in Ruby's neglected bedroom, they're adding colour as I suggested, but that doesn't look pink to me.
We've chosen some blue, some water blue, and some pink and blue wallpaper, and it's just we've kind of gone the opposite way, what Amanda suggested.
Charming. True to form though, what Ruby hates, Joe loves.
I like the colour.
But once the paint's on, Ruby's feeling a little less blue about the colour.
The colour's it's actually really grown on me. It's a really nice blue. It's really nice. I really like it.
In Sue's case, it's all about warming up her cold house with the help of daughter Jo.
I managed to talk Mum into getting rid of the carpet last night after hours and hours and hours. I think it's the best thing. I can't agree with Amanda more. You put some wooden flooring in there, it'll just actually give it more warmth, even though it's not carpet.
Yes. I will cry when it's rolled up.
Embrace it.
She might be kicking and screaming, but she's slowly being dragged round to my way of thinking.
I like that.
That's nice.
Definitely don't want that one. Can you imagine that? That's slippery. That's like go through the lounge door and end up in the garden. Yes, I like that one.
Yeah.
She settles for an oak laminate and pays £370. And while she's at it, she also picks up a new white bathroom suite for £160.
It's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win. We go for it.
And back at home, Sue gets a plumber in to install it.
I like the blue suite, but now seeing what it could look like, I'm quite excited, actually.
But just as Sue's getting into it, there's a setback.
What's wrong?
I'll let you guess.
It's too small.
The new system, it's just a different size. They're smaller nowadays to save water.
Oh dear, fitting the new loo is going to be a bigger job than first expected. Let's hope it doesn't flush too much of your money away, Sue. At Debbie and Paul's, the bland dining room has been transformed with some bold wallpaper. And to brighten it up even more, Debbie is painting the floor.
It's a real transformation, isn't it? Such a different colour.
And Paul's finishing off the music room with a stencil costing £21.
I've never put a mural up in my life before, and if I'd known what was involved, I may not have bothered this time.
Oh, don't be so defeatist, Paul. That mural might just clinch that sale. That'll do. Pleased with that. Yeah, not bad. At Joe's, there's progress in adding a bit of love, especially with some floral wallpaper in the bedroom.
Now it's up, actually. I think it's looking really nice. I'm looking forward to getting it all finished and getting the accessories, you know, all the soft furnishings and the pretty bits. Then it'll look blinding.
Up in the loft room with the building work done, it's time to get the decorators in.
That's really nice. I'm actually pleased with this. What I have got is perhaps New York attic meets country cottage.
At Sue's house, the plumber has finally fitted the shiny new white suite. But with funds from their £1,000 budget starting to run low, they've ditched one of my ideas.
I love the idea of the cladding. Brilliant idea, but I'm coming up to the end of my budget.
And downstairs, another of my suggestions has bitten the dust.
Amanda suggested wallpaper, like a silvery grey wallpaper.
But at least they're adding colour to the walls.
But to strip the walls off and paper would have taken us well over a week.
A week? Were you planning on using a nail file, Sue?
I was still a little bit apprehensive covering up the white. But then I thought if I don't like it, I can always paint it white again.
Quick, Joe, hide the white. Debbie and Paul are nearly done adding colour to their period property, and they've even gone with my design idea of paper on the ceiling.
Well, now it's done, it looks lovely. Just feels very spacious because you've got all these rooms with different purposes, you know, set purpose rooms. It looks really good.
The dining room was dull and unappealing, but by putting up bold floral wallpaper and painting the floor, this room is now fresh, bright and inviting.
What a difference. It's so pretty.
Putting the colour on the paper on all walls, because of the size of the room, it's not overpowering.
Because you were frightened of that, weren't you? I
Yeah.
think you were thinking of just doing that wall.
Absolutely, and that's what I always do, is just one feature wall and keep the other very neutral.
Wallpapering the ceiling. It works really well, doesn't it? Do you like it?
We do. It was a challenge getting it up there.
You've brought this room up to the same standard as the rest of the rooms.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Can we go and look at the music room?
Yeah.
The old guest room stroke office was cluttered and confusing, but it's been cleared out and given a new lease of life with the fun stencils and musical wallpaper at a total cost of £130.
Triumph, again. The room feels light and airy and just works.
I think it looks fantastic, and I think it really does show the musical instruments up really well. I mean, they become the feature of the room, don't they now?
I think you've done a brilliant job, I really do. Well done, the pair of you.
At Joe and Ruby's, they're making the final modernising touches with a new carpet in the loft and bright, soft furnishings in Ruby's bedroom on the first floor.
I like it. It's amazing what a lick of paint, actually, and a good old sort-out does.
Ruby's room was bland and unloved, but it's been brought to life with colour, patterned wallpaper and a brand new carpet, creating a chic, boutique-style bedroom.
When I left here last week, I remember walking out and thinking they've got a lot of work ahead of them.
It was difficult.
But you got it done. I like the fact that you're both wearing pink, but you've not got any pink on your walls.
What happened was she wanted some shocking pink flock wallpaper. And then when she looked at this one, I said, yes!
Ah, so you both agreed on one, so it's like, quick!
And then I thought, if we do it, the walls pink as well, it might be a bit too much.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. It makes you feel like a princess. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's beautiful. What you've done is you've enabled buyers to come in and see a wonderful space now, as opposed to a space that's a wee bit neglected.
I'm thrilled with it. I didn't think it would ever look this nice.
Upstairs, the attic was carved up, making it dark and dingy. But by knocking down the partition, giving the walls a lick of paint and replacing the carpet at a total cost of £990, it's bigger, brighter and smarter.
You have performed miracles. It is brilliant. It's made it a proper space now, whereas before it felt all higgledy-piggledy and not usable. Are you jealous, Ruby?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
We all are.
So would I be.
We all are.
This is going to really, really help the saleability of your house. It really will. I just think it's just improved this whole upper level tenfold.
Yes.
So well done, the pair of you.
At Sue's, fresh new lino is going down in the bathroom to complement the crisp white suite, and a new wood floor is giving warmth to the newly decorated living room.
The week's been quite stressful and manic, But I think the result has paid off. Oh, I think I'm definitely going to be the winner. There's no doubt about that one.
The living room was dated and cluttered with ornaments, but by clearing it out, ditching the old carpet and adding a warm colour to the walls at a total cost of £680, it's become much warmer and more welcoming.
How's it been?
Hectic. Absolutely crazy. But now it's all worth it.
You've introduced a lot of colour in here now.
Yeah.
How do you think it looks? Do you like it?
I think it looks fantastic.
Let's talk about the carpet, which I know is up in the attic.
It's
as soon
not
as you've
going
got it, I'm
anywhere.
rolling it back out again.
Oh, no, I'm not. I love this floor. It makes the room look bigger.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And, you know, these are the sort of rooms that buyers will pick up on when they come in.
It's come together really, really well.
10 out of 10 for effort, girls. Well done, the pair of you. Right, upstairs, let's look at this bathroom.
The dark blue suite was dated, but by replacing it with crisp white, the bathroom has been brought bang up to date, though it's a shame they didn't do the panelling I suggested.
It's amazing the difference, isn't it? A white suite can make to a room.
Yeah. It's so much brighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really brightened it up.
You've also got new flooring down, haven't
Yeah.
you? The flooring's down. The one thing that hasn't changed, which would have been so nice, is the tongue and groove panelling. What happened?
Run out of time and budget, and a choice between the tongue and groove or the floor.
Right.
And I thought the floor had to be covered because of the big gap in the bidet.
Much better to do
So,
that.
yeah, that's what I thought.
You've done a great job. Well done, both of you.
Thank you.
I'm in Worthing, West Sussex, getting ready to show 3 properties to my buyer Diane and her brother Carl, who are hoping to use her £550,000 budget to find her dream home.
Instinctively, we go for the traditional, the character properties, and I think you're very much more open-minded, but...
You can have character in any sort of property. It can be quirky, it could be modern, it could be anything, really, and still have character.
My 3 sellers are adding the final touches to their houses in the hope of getting an offer. At Sue's, it's been all about warming the place up and adding colour.
The house has got a lot going for it. And now with the front room, the living room and the bathroom, yeah, I think I'm in with a very good chance.
Also delighted is Debbie, after transforming her music and dining rooms.
Paul and I have said it a couple of times. We've walked in here and said, it's lovely. Shall we stay?
And Jo is feeling super confident after completely redesigning not 1 but 2 bedrooms.
As for the competition, there isn't any. We're out and out winners.
I think that's for our buyers to decide. First stop is Debbie and Paul's Edwardian semi.
So this is the house that you're going to be seeing, built in 1912. Beautiful original features.
I like the location.
Yeah.
Yeah, slap bang between the sea and the Downs.
It's a semi which wasn't on our hit list.
Right.
Wasn't ideal, but nothing's ruled out.
Should we get inside and have a look?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Open-minded, this house has 4 bedrooms upstairs, but first I want to show them the downstairs dining room and its elegant new decor, which complements its grand period features perfectly.
Lovely fireplace.
Love the fireplace.
Really nice.
Love the fireplace. Oh, you don't see many of those.
What are you doing in this house? Because you're in practically every room. Style, decor-wise, is there much you would do to change it?
Probably not, actually.
The dining room is a hit, and just through the kitchen is the old spare room that's now a vibrant music room.
So the current owners use this as their music room stroke guest bedroom. Are we on the right track here?
The house is the right size. It's got a lovely feel and lovely features.
Are there any buts at the moment or not?
It depends on what we find outside in the back.
Okay. Well, let's get outside and see whether or not it's something that you are prepared to compromise on. So it's not the 5 acres that you have in France. Is it big enough?
It's not something we would have ever chosen to look at. A garden is small. Having said that, we have got the beach on the doorstep.
So how much do you think this is on at? I'm looking at you because you've done most of the research.
A little bit more homework, maybe 455.
You're pretty close, 445. You know, that's sort of middle of your budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
You literally could move into this and start living straight away.
I would say it's a contender.
Right. I need to give you something to compare it with, don't
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
Should we continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Next up is Sue's 4-bed detached villa.
So this is what I like to call the quirky one. The quirky one with the amazing views. I mean, you can see the sea through there.
Yeah,
Perfect,
that is incredible, that view.
Big garden, big house, quite an unusual layout. But you did say you quite fancied the idea of something quirky and unusual.
Yeah, yeah, and with those views, definitely.
OK.
Yeah.
Let's get inside and see what you think.
Yeah.
OK.
So the sea views have got Diane and Carl smiling. Downstairs there are 2 of this house's 4 double bedrooms, along with the newly made over living room.
Come on through to your living room.
Good size.
The space it's big space. I can do anything with it.
What do you think of it?
You could, if the price is right, you could do a lot to it.
Yeah, with the Edwardian house that we've just come from, you don't have the views, but you can walk to the sea in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, you've got the views of the sea, but you can't get to it in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's again balancing out what is a better option for you. Well, let's continue. We've got the kitchen that way, so you lead the way. Big, isn't it?
You don't see from here that you've got a beautiful view out the back as well. You just can't get that feel. I can see myself getting a hammer out and knocking lots of walls down.
Stand by.
Yeah, well, there's potential.
Now to come clean about the one thing Diane was hoping not to see.
Coming out and looking at the pool now, is it changing your mind?
It just doesn't do it for me.
No.
I would have to get that filled in.
Right, so that'd have to go. And that, depending on who you used, could be anything from 3,000 up to 10,000. So you'd have to shop around. What about the garden itself, though?
It's a nice size garden, it's wide.
This is the project. This is the move in, get cracking on reconfiguring it. So price-wise, I'm not even going to bother asking you, my love, because you'll just do it in euros, won't you?
Yeah.
How much do you think it's worth?
It's probably low 400s, 420.
450.
450?
No.
Right.
Is that a good no or a bad no?
It's more expensive.
Right.
For the amount you've got to do on it.
To make it nice.
I think that's a lot.
Nicer.
OK.
Yeah.
So Sue and Joe's villa-style home, not quite right. I have one last house to show them, Joe and Ruby's, which is in a busier location.
So here we go, yet another option for you to get all confused about.
Just the noise.
The road.
The road.
The road noise.
Yeah.
It's a very busy road.
This is, again, I guess, the compromise.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got a bigger piece of garden, but it's at the front of the house, not the back of the house, and you do have
The road noise.
the road noise. And I can tell by the furrowed brows, you're not feeling that, are you?
No.
Oh! Well, I tell you what, let's go inside, have a little look inside, see what you think.
Not a great start outside. Downstairs there's a large living room and dining area, and upper level is Ruby's newly revamped bedroom.
So this is one of 4 bedrooms. You know, I'm no Einstein, but I can tell that there's not as much enthusiasm here as there was with maybe the other 2.
No. I think anything that I see here is just going to be ruined by the road noise.
One more roll of the dice. I'm just going to show you one more room, and then I'm going to give up.
OK.
Give out and hang it right.
I may be fighting a losing battle here, but there's still lots to admire, especially in the loft room.
So this is currently being used as a teenage boys' den, which I think, if you're a teenage boy, would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Also make quite a good guest quarter.
Yeah, I quite like the curious double staircase and a few other things. There's a few things that I do like.
Price-wise, I might as well let you have a guess.
410?
450.
450? OK. All right.
I think the best thing for us to do is to regroup. You've seen all 3 now, lots to compare, lots to think about. Let's go somewhere, sit down, cup of tea, have a little think about what we're going to do next. Yep, let's go.
So 2 houses are still in contention. Will they go for Debbie and Paul's charming Edwardian semi with the period features, or Sue and Joe's quirky detached home with the amazing view?
I think it's safe to say that we can rule out the 3rd property, the detached house on the main road, absolutely not working. Which leaves us with 2 properties. One was the quirky chalet-style bungalow with the incredible panorama.
Amazing
Amazing
views.
Yeah.
The amount of investment that would need to go into making that a beautiful house is probably not going to be worth spending the money on.
Yeah. Which leaves us with the Edwardian house with the best fireplace you've ever seen.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful house.
Yeah, but it wasn't initially what you thought you were going to end up with, was it?
That's right, exactly. And that's where the dilemma is now. It's, do we need to rethink what we want and what's practical and what's right for now?
Next step, do you think you'll go back?
Very possibly. That could be a solution for us.
I think it's definitely worth going back to look at that property. It's a beautiful, beautiful house, fantastic location. Wherever it is you end up, good luck. I hope you and your chickens find a very lovely home over here.
Thank you very much.
Diane and Carl did return for a second viewing at Paul and Debbie's, but decided it wasn't quite right for them. But it isn't all bad news for Paul and Debbie, as the hard work paid off and they have since sold their property.
I think Amanda's suggestions were very helpful in selling the house.
People that came round loved some of the things she did. Yeah.
But I must say, the people who bought it really liked the music room.
They really loved the dining room.
Not that we're competitive.
And there's been good news for Sue and Joe too, as they've also sold within just a few weeks of making the changes.